Hey everyone, AYBL Main here, and I finally got back around to doing my series of the top 5 albums for every year that I've been alive. We're at 1998 right now, which put me squarely at year 30. It's going to be an interesting year, guys, so kind of hang tough with me a little bit. I really got into trip hop and electronica and down tempo music in a stretch here about in that time frame. So 3 of these albums are going to be kind of in that genre. So one of the bands is called Air that makes my top 5. The album is called Moon Safari. One big song that they're kind of known for on there is Sexy Boy. Also the track, it's a lead-off track actually, La Femme d'Argent, is very good. I suggest you check it out. It's an interesting listen to, and I really kind of got into electronica during this time and started to experiment with other types of music that kind of fell in that quasi kind of category. So also in the top 5 was a trip hop band called Massive Attack. My favorite album of theirs is Mezzanine. This one had Angel is the lead off track from side 1. Also features probably the most prominent song that they're known for is Teardrop, which features the vocals from Elizabeth Fraser. You'll know it from the House MD TV soundtrack. It's the theme song that plays at the beginning of that particular show when it was on TV, so you might recognize it from there. Also, making my top 5 is Boards of Canada. Um, Music Has a Right to Children is the name of the album. Very interesting listen to, guys. When I first listened to it, I just really didn't know what I was kind of absorbing, and then I had to go back and listen to it a couple times, and I actually found a couple other people in groups that I listen to their music and their suggestions also recommend this album. So I knew I wasn't way off base when I came up with it. A couple songs to listen to off of there is called 6010 and Turquoise in the Sun. Definitely worth checking out. You're looking for something different to listen to, guys. Any of these last 3 bands that I mentioned, there's something different for you to listen to. And give it a try. You know, I mean, I know some guys are just into rock music and stuff, and that's fine too, but give it some try. So, speaking of rock, probably my favorite Pearl Jam album outside of 10, at least since 10 anyway, came out this year, and that was Yield. Um, Really glad that Pearl Jam went out and found their sound, didn't try to pigeonhole themselves or fade away into obscurity because of the whole grunge scene. This album, I think, is very solid. It's just barely below 10, at least in my opinion, as far as favorability goes. Check out the track "Given to Fly" on there. Also, "Wish List" and "In Hiding" is also very good. So give it a try, you know, and let me know what you think of that one. I believe it's their fifth studio album, so definitely worth a listen. But number 1 for that year is going to be a hip hop album. It's Outkast's Aquemini. I believe pronounced that right. If I didn't, I am sure somebody out there is going to correct me. I'm not a huge Outkast fan in general. I have listened to 3 of their albums, four of their albums. I'm sorry, but this is my favorite by far. It's got I think the one's called "Skew to the B Bar." It's kind of really interesting. It's got a unique sample to it that sounds like it's from like a 70s old detective show. And I believe it was actually used on the one with Angie Dickinson. If they listen real close, it sounds almost exactly the same. So I thought that was an interesting sample to use. So I kind of like that tune for sure. Also, I like the Spotty Oddie song. That's really interesting, and the Rosa Parks song as well. So definitely a band that I kind of grew on me a little bit. I wasn't ready to give them a whole lot of credence because I really wasn't a big fan of the song "Hey Ya," and so. But I'm glad I circled back around to it. Now to the album that everybody said that I should like, but I actually didn't. It's actually going to be Neutral Milk Hotel. This album was so critically acclaimed. I mean, everybody just kind of jumped aboard the bandwagon here, saying it's the greatest experimental album of all time, blah, blah, blah. I listened to it, really not all that enamored with it. I mean, it's probably the most interesting thing about the album is the actual album cover. The album art is really, really, really good. And it's got like one track on there, a Holland 1945, that I thought was okay, but all in all, just didn't do it for me. Didn't get the whole appeal, but you know, critics sometimes like to all jump on the same bandwagon. If one critic says it's great, then everybody wants to feel like they're along with the crowd, and they'll just go along with it. So I didn't feel it. So that's all I got for 1998, guys. Stay tuned for my 1999 video, hopefully by the end of this week, and I'll catch you guys later.